Good morning, children. Stay safely at home. Now I'm starting the next chapter, but as already you know that due to this pandemic, certain portion of your class that is omitted. So from this chapter, the chapter's name is Magnetic Field and Earth's Magnetism, but that Earth's magnetism part is totally removed, omitted. So I'll just state only the magnetic field portion. This is the first point. Secondly, here when we will study about the magnet, bar magnet or magnetic field produced or the different terms associated with a bar magnet or a magnetic dipole, then we will learn it just by comparing it with the electrostatic, means electric dipole. Alright, because the derivations already in details you have done in electricity, static electricity chapter, you have studied about the electric dipole. So just by comparing the two we will study this chapter. Alright, so here you need to learn and remember the formulae for the different physical quantities that I am going to teach. Okay, so first one is, what is magnetic dipole moment or what is magnetic dipole? So again, as I said that we will learn it by comparing it to electric dipole. So what is electric dipole? Two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. So exactly like that, magnetic dipole, you can say that two opposite poles. So you see I have written north here, I have written south here, two opposite poles. And you know, if you consider the two poles of a magnet, and poles cannot be separated, so you have to consider the two poles of a magnet, and that two poles, the strength are equal. Alright, already you know the molecular theory of magnetism in lower classes, junior classes, you studied it already. So here you see, the moment you are taking north and south pole of a magnet, then what is happening? It will constitute or it will form a magnetic dipole because their pole strength are equal. So if you consider that pole strength of the magnetic dipole be m dash and they are separated by a distance 12, then you see what will be the magnetic dipole moment. It is denoted by m, or you may use this one also, because here you see we use PE, electric dipole moment. In some book they use this term also. Okay, that PM, P is the dipole moment and M for magnetic dipole moment, or simply you can use M as in your book M written, so I have used M. And how you can define? It will be pole strength multiplied by distance between the two poles. Just look at this expression and look at this expression. This is electric dipole moment, one of the magnitude of one charge into 12. So in this case, pole strength into 12 is the magnetic dipole moment. Alright. Now, next concept of magnetic dipole, that also we studied in 10th standard in the last chapter also. The current carrying loop, it behaves like a magnetic dipole. Alright. And what is the magnetic dipole moment of that loop which is representing the magnetic dipole? It is given by NIA. Alright, N is the number of turns of the loop, I is the current passing through the loop, and A is the area of the loop. Alright, now you see this concept that magnetic dipole moment is NIA or IA when there is only one turn, you can get from other concept also. You know that just in the last chapter only we studied that whenever you keep a current carrying circular loop in a magnetic field, then the torque experienced by the this one current carrying loop is given by IAB sin theta. Exactly in the same manner, if you place an electric dipole in an uniform electric field, then what is the torque experienced by the electric dipole? It is given by electric dipole moment into strength of the electric field multiplied by sine of theta, where theta is the angle between PE and E, means dipole moment and the electric field. So if you compare these two relation, then you see in case of magnetic field, E will be replaced by the magnetic field strength B, and then the term left is I into A. So you may consider that IA represents the magnetic dipole moment. Alright. So you see, magnetic dipole moment is given by M is equal to IA. Now the question arises, already I discussed it in the earlier chapter also, that dipole moment is a vector quantity. Alright. So if you consider that dipole moment is a vector quantity, then how you can get it, that M is equal to I into A. Alright. M will be equal to I into A. Alright. That what is the direction of the dipole moment? Direction of dipole moment is along the direction of the area vector. Alright. So this is the way, by just comparing the concept of electric dipole moment, you can get magnetic dipole moment. And what is the expression for magnetic dipole moment? You are supposed to remember, most of the cases we use that one only, M is equal to NIA. Now next topic is magnetic field intensity due to a magnetic dipole. Alright. Now magnetic dipole, you see we have taken. Now magnetic field intensity, if you want to find, then you can find it out in two position on the axis of the dipole, and second one is on the equatorial line of the dipole. And what is equatorial line? I hope you have not forgotten. What is the equatorial line? That is the perpendicular bisector of the magnetic axis, no, not the magnetic axis, the length of the magnet. Means at the center of the magnet, if you draw a perpendicular, that is known as the equatorial line. Alright. Now if this derivation already we have done, so that's why derivation we will not do, we will just remember the result. For electric dipole, I hope you can remember, electric field intensity at any point on the axial line. This is the point where we are finding the electric field intensity. It is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p. P is the electric dipole moment into R by R square minus L square whole square, where R is the distance of point of observation from the center of the dipole. And you know what is the unit of electric field intensity? Newton per coulomb. Okay. Now the derivation, as you have done exactly same manner, you can do the derivation for the magnetic field intensity at any point on the axial line of a magnetic dipole, and you will get the same relation, but the only difference is that the constant for electric field intensity is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and for magnetic field intensity it is mu naught by 4 pi. That also in the earlier chapter we got it. And so you see, magnetic field intensity at any point on the axial line due to a magnetic dipole is given by mu 0 by 4 pi to MR. M is the magnetic dipole moment divided by R square minus L square whole square. And already you know what is the SI unit of B. You can write Tesla or you can write Newton per ampere per meter. For what is the SI unit of electric field intensity? Newton per coulomb. But for magnetic field intensity, Newton per ampere per meter. And what is the SI unit of magnetic dipole moment? It is IA. So it is ampere meter square. And what is the SI unit of mu naught by 4 pi? That is Newton per ampere square. Alright. So these are the basic things already you have learned. Only thing is that just by comparison method you remember the final formula for the magnetic field intensity at any point on the axial line of a magnetic dipole. And we know for electric dipole, when R much greater than L, then it becomes, you see R much greater than L, then L you can neglect, so it will become R to the power 4, R by R to the power 4 means R cube. So exactly in the same manner, for magnetic field intensity, it will become mu 0 by 4 pi to M by R cube. Just compare these two relation and learn it. Okay. Just remember, for electric field intensity, the constant is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, whereas for magnetic field intensity, it is mu naught by 4 pi. For electric field intensity, dipole moment we denote it by P. For magnetic field intensity, dipole moment we denote it by M. Now, what is the direction of the dipole moment for this one magnetic dipole? when we are taking south pole and north pole, remember in case of electric field and in case of magnetic field, positive charge equivalent to north pole and negative charge equivalent to south pole. Alright. Now, what is the direction of dipole moment for the electric field? I hope you can remember. Dipole moment is from the negative charge to the positive charge. So, in this case, what will be the direction of the magnetic dipole moment? As I said, minus q charge is equivalent to S. So you see, it will be from south to north pole. You must remember it. When you are considering the magnetic dipole moment due to a circular loop of current, then the direction of the magnetic dipole moment is along the area vector. But when it is a south and north pole, then what is the direction of the magnetic dipole moment? Magnetic dipole moment is directed from south to north. And it is easy to remember this way, that north pole equivalent to plus q charge plus positive charge and south pole equivalent to negative charge. Then exactly by comparing the two things you can easily find out. Now next one, you see, this is the axial point of observation on the axial line you have taken. Next is, you take the point of observation on the equatorial line. So first of all, we will do for the electric field. You know that electric field intensity at a point on the equatorial line, I have written EQ here. Okay, it is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square plus L square whole to the power 3 by 2. And when R much greater than L, then L you just can drop it. So it is coming R cube. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R cube. Alright. But what about the direction? You know that in case of this one axial line, the direction of the electric field intensity and direction of dipole moment, they are same. But when it is equatorial line, direction of dipole moment and direction of electric field intensity, they are opposite to each other. I hope you can remember. That's why I said while teaching this topic that if you give a vector sign here, then you should give a negative sign. Why? Because E and P, they are oppositely directed. So exactly in the same manner, what you can get for magnetic field intensity at any point on the equatorial line of a magnetic dipole, it will be given by mu 0 by 4 pi m is the magnetic dipole moment divided by R square plus L square whole to the power 3 by 2. And when R much greater than L, then you are getting mu 0 by 4 pi m by R cube. But in case of equatorial line, you have to remember that direction of M and direction of B, they are opposite. Okay. So that's why in the diagram I have shown it clearly. What is the direction of M? Direction of M is always from south to north. So direction of M is in this direction. So what will be the direction of B equatorial? It will be opposite to M. So you see what is the direction? It is towards left. It is towards M is towards right. So B is towards left. Alright, so this is the way you can get what is the magnetic field intensity at a point on the axial line as well as on the equatorial line of a dipole. Please remember the final result. Okay. Here one more point. I have said axial this one axial line and equatorial line, but you know this case it is also known as end-on position and this is known as broadside on position. Alright, so both are same. This is broadside on position and this is end on position. End on position means already you have solved the numericals also. Okay, so I hope you can apply these two terms in case of magnetic dipole also. Alright, axial line means end on position and equatorial line means broadside on position. Now next is, if you place a magnetic dipole in an uniform magnetic field, what will happen to it? Again we will do just by considering the concept of electric dipole. You know that if you place an electric dipole in an uniform magnetic field, uniform electric field, making an angle theta with the direction of the electric field, then the electric dipole experiences a torque which is given by Pe sine theta, and if you give, this is the magnitude, and if you consider this as a vector, torque as a vector, then you can write torque experienced by an electric dipole is given by P cross E. So exactly in the same manner, if you take a magnetic dipole and if you place it in an uniform magnetic field, external magnetic field B, in such a manner that dipole moment, you see dipole moment is from south to north, so dipole moment is in this direction, it is making an angle theta with B. Then the magnetic dipole will experience the torque given by, you see P will be replaced by M, electric dipole moment will be replaced by magnetic dipole moment, electric field will be replaced by magnetic field sine of theta, where theta is the angle between M and B and here theta is the angle between P and E. So if you write torque as a vector quantity, then you can write torque is equal to M cross B. And instead of a bar magnet, if you take a current carrying circular loop, then in that case remember M will be given by NIA, and what will be the direction of M according along the direction of the area vector. Alright, so again just by comparing the magnetic dipole with the electric dipole, this is the expression you are getting for the torque experienced by a magnetic dipole placed in an uniform magnetic field. Next is, so as we know that when we place an electric dipole in a uniform electric field, then it possesses some potential energy. Alright, that already the derivation, this derivation we have done, and we have got this, what is the work done to just rotate the dipole from an angle theta 1 to an angle theta 2 given by PE cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Now if you consider the dipole, first it was initially perpendicular to the electric field, and then it has, means suppose this is the consider my finger is the direction of the field E, electric field, and initially the dipole was like this, perpendicular to it, and then it is rotated and now it is aligned to the direction of E, means theta 1 90, theta 2 0, then what will be the potential energy? Minus PE. And so you can write in this case P and E, they are parallel to each other, so what is the angle between them? 0 degree. So you can write it as minus P dot E, because cos 0 is 1. Okay. So this is the expression for potential energy of an electric dipole placed in an uniform electric field. So exactly in the same manner, if I apply it for a magnet, and you know in case of magnet, monopole does not exist. So only magnet means what? A magnetic dipole. So you can write exactly in the same manner, it will be potential energy is given by minus M dot B. Alright, so this is the potential energy of a magnet placed in an uniform magnetic field B. And then we know in case of electric field that when the potential energy will become minimum when theta is 0 degree. And what is the minimum value of the potential energy? Minus PE. Alright, means when the direction of P and E, they are same, P and E are parallel to each other, then the potential energy possessed by the electric dipole is minimum, and potential energy possessed by the electric dipole is maximum. And what is the maximum value? Plus PE when theta is equal to 180 degree, because you see P dot E means what? PE cos theta. Here I can write it as PE cos 0 degree, isn't it? So you see PE cos 180 degree, when it will come cos 180 degree minus 1, and there is already negative sign here, so you are getting plus PE. And when the potential energy maximum, when P and E are anti-parallel, opposite to each other. So in this case also you can write that potential energy of the magnet will be minimum when M and B, they are parallel to each other, or the angle between them is 0 degree. And now potential energy will become maximum exactly in the same manner, and maximum value will be plus MB when M and B are anti-parallel. M and B anti-parallel. Anti-parallel means what? The angle between them is 180 degree. So these are the informations regarding the potential energy of a magnet in a magnetic field you have to learn and remember. Next is magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. Understand it. Electron when revolving in a circular path, it gives rise to a current. Everybody knows. So you see, when you are considering a revolving electron in a circular orbit, then it is similar to a current carrying circular loop, isn't it? So it should have a magnetic dipole moment. So how you can find out the magnetic dipole moment? By using this formula I into A. Now consider this case that an electron is revolving in a circular orbit of radius r. Now at any point of its circular path, what is the direction of its velocity? Tangent drawn at that point, and what is the direction of the radius vector? From the center towards that point. Alright. So you see, in this case you can write current that you are getting due to the revolution of electron is given by E by T. You know I is how much? Q by T. So how much charge? Q is how much here? Charge of one electron. So I have written E. And what is the time here? Time period of revolution of electron. That's why I have written it by big T. Okay. Now I is equal to E by T. And what will be the time period of revolution? You know that speed is given by distance by time. So when if you are considering the revolution of electron, then what is the distance traveled? For the time means one revolution, it will be 2 pi r, and what is the time t? So you see t how much it is coming, 2 pi r by v. This part you don't have to write in the copy, okay? This is for your explanation. So what is the time period of revolution t given by 2 pi r by v. Then what is the area vector here? It will be pi r squared because r is the radius of the circular orbit. So what is the area vector of the orbit? It is pi r squared. So what is the dipole moment of the electron? Okay. It is given by I into A. So you see I have substituted I E by T. A is pi r squared. Then again you substitute T. So when we substitute T here, V will move up. Then you pi cancel, r square you can cancel. So you are getting EVR by 2. So you must remember this relation. Okay. Okay, there is space here. I am writing that what is the relation for magnetic dipole moment of an electron revolving in a circular orbit. It is given by this. Then there is another term associated with the movement of electron, that is known as the orbital angular momentum. And you know why it is orbital angular momentum? In the rotational motion chapter in 11th standard you have studied about the angular momentum. Angular momentum is given by linear momentum multiplied by the radius vector, isn't it? So linear momentum is mv multiplied by radius, so mvr. So as electron is revolving in a circular orbit, so what will be the orbital angular momentum of the electron? It is given by, we generally denote by j, mevr. Remember here me, this is the subscript, means mass of electron. So MEVR. Why I have not written M here? Because already M is used for magnetic dipole moment. That's why here the subscript E is written. It indicates that it is the mass of electron. Now, if you take the ratio of the magnetic dipole moment to orbital angular momentum M by J, then this ratio is known as gyromagnetic ratio of revolving electron. Okay, M by J, what is its name? Gyromagnetic ratio. Important point, you must learn and remember it. That gyromagnetic ratio of a revolving electron is given by M is to J. So if you substitute expression of M and J, then you see here it is VR and here it is VR. So we will get cancelled. You are getting it how much? E by 2ME. So if you consider the, here I have written only their magnitude, but if you consider the direction of M and J, means M and J, they are the vector quantity, both of them. So if you give the vector sign, then it will come as minus E by 2ME. Why minus E by 2ME? Just look at this one. Direction of J and M, they are always opposite. So when the electron is revolving in this direction, then dipole moment, it is in the downward direction, but the orbital angular momentum, it will be in the upward direction. So this negative sign indicates that M and J, they are acting in the opposite direction. So you must remember the expression for small m, expression for J, then the ratio M by J. And what is the name of M by J? That is gyromagnetic ratio. Now if we apply our concept of magnetic dipole moment for revolving electron in case of electron in a hydrogen atom, then you see how you can write that angular momentum J, it is MeVr, and according to this one you will learn in the next later on that it is given by NH by 2 pi according to Bohr's theory. Alright, MeVr, it is given by NH by 2 pi, where N is the principal quantum number and H is the Planck's constant. Alright, so you see magnetic moment, either you can use the formula EVR by 2, or you can write magnetic moment is E by 2 me into J. Just now we have done. So in place of J, you can write it as NH by 2 pi. Alright, now if you consider the first orbit electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom, then what is the n value? 1. You know that principal quantum number for the first orbit it is 1, for the second orbit it is 2, like that, isn't it? So for the first orbit, if you put the value of n as 1, what is the magnetic dipole moment coming? E by 2 me, H by 2 pi. Now you see E is the charge of an electron, me is the mass of an electron, H is Planck's constant, and 4 pi, these are constant. Means this entire thing, it is a constant. So if you substitute the values of E, me, H and pi and do the simplification, the value comes 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24. And you know SI unit is ampere meter square, not per, ampere meter square, okay, because IA. Now, this is the minimum value of the magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. So, this minimum value as per the scientist named Bohr is known as Bohr magneton. So, 1 Bohr magneton is equal to 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 ampere meter square. So, you must remember this, that minimum value of magnetic dipole moment for a revolving electron is equal to 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 ampere meter square, and it is also known as Bohr magneton. Okay. Then the next topic is magnetic field lines, magnetic lines of force. So that topic already by comparison method and not by comparison method in details you have studied in 9th standard. That is not that much important here. So I am just discussing that. What is magnetic field lines? In a magnetic field, you know, this is the magnetic field lines are the imaginary path followed by unit north pole placed in a magnetic field. What is magnetic field lines? It is the imaginary path followed by unit north pole placed in a magnetic field. Then next is what are the characteristics of the, or what are the properties of the magnetic field lines? Magnetic field lines are always closed and continuous curve. As magnetic second point, magnetic field lines, as this is the imaginary path followed by unit north pole, so it is always directed from north to south outside the magnet and inside the magnet south to north. Okay. Then next one, the most important property of the magnetic field lines, a tangent drawn at any point on the magnetic field lines gives the direction of the magnetic field intensity at that point. And that's why the fourth property, no two magnetic field lines intersect each other. Why they cannot intersect each other? Because if the two magnetic field lines intersect each other at a point, then what will happen? Two tangents can be drawn at that point, and two tangents will give two directions of magnetic field intensity at one point, which is not possible. So, two magnetic field lines never intersect each other. The next property is that if the magnetic field lines are crowded at any place, it means that the magnetic field is stronger in that region. And if the magnetic field lines are far apart at any region, that indicates that magnetic field is weaker in that portion. And if the magnetic field lines are parallel to each other and equidistant from each other, it indicates that magnetic field is uniform at that point. And magnetic field lines, last property, magnetic field lines, they always behave like a stretched elastic membrane, and that is the reason that why north and south they attract each other. All right, so that's the end of this chapter. This chapter actually you have to compare with the electric dipole chapter and just remember the equivalent expression for magnetic dipole, for torque experience and the magnetic field intensity on the axial line, magnetic field intensity on the equatorial line, all right, potential energy of a magnet, and the last one is what will be the magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron, and then a Bohr magneton and gyromagnetic ratio also. Okay, thank you girls.